Hello and welcome to another edition of Travel News Weekly by Turnpikes.com for March 30th, 2026. We start again with a quick update of gas prices around the country, which are beginning to level off, but are still rising in the wake of joint U.S.-Israeli military operations in Iran. As of Monday morning, the American Automobile Association was reporting gas prices that were hovering just under $4 a gallon nationally, although prices are much higher on the West Coast and in Illinois. The least expensive place to buy gas is across the South and into the Central Plains, then north to the upper Midwest. Again, that's according to the AAA. Another quick update, this time of the Gordie Howe International Bridge, which is slated to open during the spring, but that is as much of a new timeline as we're getting right now from those who are operating the bridge, that is the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority. The agency's Katie Bosco took the lead of the commercial webinar hosted last Friday by the WDBA, which was joined by several dozen commercial users and fleet operators. Those commercial operators were introduced to the type of transponder pass accounts that will be available to commercial users, including postpaid options for fleets making 1,000 or more crossings each month. Sign-ups for commercial accounts are already underway in both English and French. 3 types of tags will be available, including the expected windshield sticker, a typical RFID tag, plus a license plate mounted transponder for some big rigs, and headlamp tags for specialized vehicles. The aforementioned headlamp tag will also be available for motorcycles when private accounts are made available, and that is expected in the coming weeks. On to the new business, which concerns a replacement bridge in North Carolina, specifically the outmoded Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. A private company in the past week submitted a new unsolicited proposal for a replacement, which would include tolls to help pay for the estimated $1.1 billion replacement cost, which would yield a new 6-lane structure with enough clearance to meet marine standards. The proposed toll, at least at this very early stage, would be about $2.75 per crossing for regular passenger cars, according to local media. Reports out of Wilmington flowed into the weekend, including the latest update, which is that the North Carolina Department of Transportation is performing an assessment of that proposal as of last Friday, March 27th. This comes after NCDOT reportedly received a letter of consent from the Wilmington Metropolitan Planning Organization for that proposal review process. The proposal itself to replace the Cape Fear Bridge was submitted by a spinoff of United Bridge Partners called Delivering Bridges, LLC. United Bridge Partners had submitted a replacement proposal directly in 2021. That one was shot down. The Wilmington MPO is expected to get the NCDOT analysis from state authorities by late spring or early summer. April is upon us, and that also means the start of National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, which began in recent years to combat a spate of distracted driving that kills more than 3,000 people every year, according to the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. In that figure, over 600 pedestrians and cyclists were killed by distracted drivers. The NHTSA says an additional 325,000 people are injured each year as well. These are figures from 2023. That is the latest year for which statistics are available. Meanwhile, 2026 awareness will include a national media campaign that's set to begin April 6, followed on April 9 by a coordinated national anti-distraction enforcement campaign of sorts called Put the Phone Away or Pay. The enforcement action is aimed at, you guessed it, those looking at their cell screens while driving or otherwise using their cell phones, and it is designed to be high visibility as well. Officials plan to run the enforcement action for several days leading into the middle of April. Most states have laws on the books that ban texting and driving, even allowing for primary enforcement, which is to say you can get pulled over if you're seen texting. However, as you can see, far fewer states have laws against most drivers using handheld cell phones while driving. National Distracted Driving Awareness Month runs for the duration of April. And finally this week, this is the week the tolls go up on the Pocahontas Parkway in Richmond, Virginia, which runs just south of Richmond's airport. Tolls on the privately operated roadway typically go up this time of the year. 2026 is no exception. Global Via, which operates the Pocahontas Parkway, announced that toll increase earlier this month. A full-length trip on the roadway will now be $6.15 for regular passenger cars. That is up from the current $5.95. Again, Pocahontas Parkway tolls are higher as of April 1st this week. That is going to be a wrap from us for the week. We will be off for the Easter holiday weekend, but we'll return the following week with our regular program. Meanwhile, please, as always, avoid distracted driving, especially during Distracted Driving Awareness Month. I'm Danny Pryor, reporting for Turnpikes.com, the Turnpike Authority.